Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how I created this beautiful purple and blue smoky look. If you'd like to see how I did it, keep on watching. The first thing I did was line my brows with the Benefit brow pencil, and this is in the shade 4. I will list all of the items that I use in the description box. After I outlined my brows, I used the Browsing Brow Wiz to fill in my brows, and this is the same brow wax that I always use. This is just the old packaging. I just feel like the old one is the perfect shade. It's just that the old one is finished. I got a new one, but I don't like the new one. But I do plan on trying the ABH Dip Brow in maybe ebony or dark brown. So now to define my brows, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Fawn. Brows are on, and now the next step is to prime my face, and I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I'm just going to place this all over my face before I use my foundation. For foundation, I'm using the Nars Radiant Foundation, but I'm mixing two shades. I'm going to mix Marquises and Macao. I have been in the sun a lot lately, and I'm a bit darker than Macao, but I'm still a bit cooler for Marquises. So I'm just gonna mix the two shades and let's see how this turns out. So this seems to have turned out okay. I think it's still a bit off, but at the end of the look, everything will be pulled together. So now I'm just going over my face with a damp beauty sponge to make sure that that foundation is evenly blended. Now to conceal under my eyes and highlight my face, I'm using the Nars Radiant Concealer, and this is in the shade Amande, and I'm placing this under my eyes and in my T-zone area, which would be my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. So this concealer that I was using is finished, but luckily I have a mini one in my backup. So I'm using the same concealer, which is Amande from Nars, and I'm just going to finish applying the concealer in the areas that I want to highlight. I let the concealer dry down a bit, and then I blended it out with a damp beauty sponge. So I go back and forth between the tip of the beauty sponge as well as the back of the beauty sponge, and I'm doing this because I want the concealer to fade into my foundation. To contour my face, I'm using the Revolution concealer in the shade C16. I use a Real Techniques brush to blend out the concealer, but then I go over it with the damp beauty sponge, and I do this because I want all of the levels, the foundation, the concealer, the contour, to just blend in or fade in nicely so there's no harsh lines. And next, to set my concealer, I'm using the Wet n Wild banana powder. When I'm done setting everywhere I've placed the concealer to highlight my face, I go over my entire face with the Sephora Microsmooth powder in Ebony, and I'm just using this to set my entire face as well as to blend everything in. Next, to put some warmth and life back into my face, I'm using the Fenty Mocha Mami bronzer. So now moving to the eyes, I'm going to use the MAC Paint Pot, and this is in the shade Laying Low, and I'm using this as a base for my eyeshadow. For this look, I used the Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette, and I'm taking this first color, which is Morocco, and I'm placing this in my crease. Next, I'm using the shade Jezebel, which is a nice plum color, and I'm also placing this in my crease and blending it out. For my lid, I'm using that blue sort of shimmery shade called Cleopatra. I lost some of the intensity of that second shade, which was the plum color called Jezebel, so I reapplied some of this in my crease just above the blue, and I'm blending it upwards so that it would have a nice gradient. I then used a clean brush to make sure that the first color, which was Morocco, and Jezebel, was evenly blended. For my nose contour, I'm using my black Radiance palette, and I'm dipping into the darkest shade lightly, and I'm just placing this on its sides of my nose so that it would look more defined and have that, like you hear them say on YouTube, snatched. To line my waterline, I'm using my favorite eyeliner, and this is Blooz from MAC. Now for my bottom lid, or maybe I should say under my eyes, I am using the same two colors that I use on my lid, but first I'm going to use Jezebel, and then I'm going to use Morocco. Now I'm gonna coat my lashes with the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, and then I'm gonna apply the Ardell Wispy Lashes. For blush, I'm using the NYX Sweet Cheeks in Bang Bang. Highlight, I'm using Crown Up My Canopy from Wet n Wild. My lips, I'm wearing Kat Von D Vampiro Matte Lipstick. Next, I dabbed a bit of Outlaw from that same Kat Von D line in the middle of my lip to sort of have an ombre effect. So this is the completed look. Did you like watching this video? Was it helpful? Did you like the colors I use? If you did, please touch the thumbs up button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Bye!